Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group F, and I will introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Ali bin Mazaim, alongside with my group mates, which is Rabiata Adawiyah, Nurdin Shahira, Nur Amanina, Muhammad Nazmi, and Muhammad Zaril Afham. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, for the topic that we choose for our research is factors of deceptive online advertising that influence customer purchasing intention. Okay, the previous finding indicate that deceptive online advertising such as unethical advertising or misleading has a negative impact towards customer purchasing behavior or intention has a negative impact on customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction as measured by perceived service quality and engagement is a term that is gaining traction due to its impact on the customer satisfaction among Malaysian online users. Some research, the author disregard the issue of unethical advertising, which is this is one of the issue that may influence customer decision making. Uh, this issue this issue requires investigation in order to resolve. In our research, we will oh sorry. Okay, next is the purpose of our research is to study the impact of deceptive online advertising that influence customer purchasing intention. The survey will help us to know that and have a better understanding of other people perception toward the issue. In our research, we will peel all the information from the survey to determine whether deceptive online advertising can influence customer decision making or not. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, for research objective, first is to study the relationship between misleading online advertising and customer purchasing intention. And second research objectives is to investigate the relationship between unethical online advertising and customer purchasing intention. And lastly, to examine the relationship between stereotype online advertising and customer purchasing intention. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next presenter, Nina.
Okay. Next slide. Okay, thank you, Alip. I will continue about problem statement. Stereotyping is not always negative in advertising, but is considered to be a danger since it is naturalized and made normal by the repetition of a stereotype. Stereotypes were used in advertising for as long as they exist, and some thought that different ads were racist over time. According to the rules of advertising, that advertising should not contain sexual stereotype that can be harmful and or serious or common offense, and provide several examples. False publicity is described by publishing, transmission, or otherwise publicly circulation. A commercial that contain a false, misleading, or disappointing statement as an intentional or reckless promotion or misconduct sales of property, goods, or services to the public. The misleading characteristic of advertising occurring within modern societies include criteria of justice, integrity, and non-conformity with eligibility, the creation of a false impression, The presentation of false and inaccurate fact, the conversion of social values into product and impulse customer. Difficult advertising is indeed fatal for businesses using tricky advertising. They do not care about your customer being lied to. Once they find you have lied to them, then they will take a reprimand against you. Do not expect them to fall for the same trick twice. Commercialization, misleading and misadvertising is illegal. It is illegal because every client will react to the illegal action of marketers in the same way. Next is an advertising turn into misleading or false when untruthful or deceptive statement are used in the ads to attract the customer towards the product or services. Deceptive advertising is the utilization of misleading, false and wrong advertising of a product which may negatively affect customer loyalty. Deception can be confirmed when a customer individually consume or experiences the product or services. To have a loyal customer, they must be praised by using the company's product or services, and their satisfaction must range from satisfied to highly satisfied based on the level of customer satisfaction. This issue should be resolved because it involves people trust in the company, money being lost, and a negative impact of the company's profile. Okay, next. Okay, for research question, they have three. First, is there any relationship between unethical online advertising and customer purchasing intention? Second research question is there any relationship between misleading information and customer purchasing intention? Lastly, is there any relationship between stereotyping online advertising and customer purchasing intention? Okay, I will pass to next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nuri Shahira Binti Nordin. I will present about the hypothesis of this research. For the first HO, there is a negative relationship between misleading online advertising and customer purchase intention. And for the first H1, there is a positive relationship misleading online advertising and customer purchase intention. For the second HO, there is a negative relationship between unethical online advertising and customer purchase intention. For the second H1, there is a positive relationship between unethical online advertising and customer purchase intention. For the third HO, there is a negative relationship between stereotyping online advertising and customer purchasing intention. And for the H1, there is a positive relationship between stereotyping online advertising and customer purchase intention. Next slide. Next slide is a theoretical framework. We have independent variable and dependent variable. First, we will talk about dependent variable, which is customer purchasing intention. Customer satisfaction is a term that is increasingly gaining traction due to its impact on customer satisfaction, word of mouth, and other factors that affect a company's success and profitability. Next is independent variable. We have three IV for this research. First is unethical online advertising. Unethical advertising deceive the public by using the facts. When incorrect and confusing information is presented in product advertising copy, it is referred to as unethical advertising copy. Second IV is misleading online advertising. Advertisers or marketers use a variety of marketing tactics to entice customer by making misleading promise and misrepresenting product facts. The last IV is stereotyping online advertising. Stereotyping is the oversimplification of something more complex than it appears. A stereotype is a generalized belief about a specific group of people in social psychology. Next presenter.
Okay, uh, as you can see, for here is our on research design. On the right side will be our on overall our research design, and our on the right side will be on our how we collected data using what type of the research we use. Okay, for overall research design, we goes to the observation, which is in identification of research area, and we go down to research question, and then theoretical framework, and then we gonna generating the proposition, and by through that we going to do a case study research, and by that we're gonna collect by secondary data collection, analysis, and interpretation. Okay, as for primary data, will be directly through gathering from literature survey. Okay, by that we're gonna get a deduction of hypothesis substanted, and a research question where research question it will be answered. Okay, as for the type of research we use here is exploratory research. So you have two type of data, which is secondary and primary data. We focus more on the primary data here, quantitative data, which is have two types, is it descriptive and causal. Under descriptive, we are using survey data, and under causal, we'll be using a statistical data based on our case study research. Okay, next will be sampling design. As you can see, in our population here, the population is target group that we want to conclude about. Okay, we choosing a millennials between range of 18 to 13 years old. Okay, mostly 18 and 30 years old are using social media for nowadays. Okay, for online activity. As for sampling frame, it is within Klang Valley. We're located in Malaysia. Okay, and then determination of size. We currently are just focusing more into 150 respondent. Okay, we collect data from them. And after that, we'll be on sampling technique. We have decided to choose convenience sampling, okay, because none of probability are commonly used for sampling research. Okay, and then next, I will pass to next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Najmi. Okay, moving on to how the data will be collected. So, survey data is used to gather information from a specific group of respondents. For our group, we have decided to use survey data because this methodology is one of the most important quantitative methods. It is also various types of survey or polls can be used to investigate opinions, trends, and etc. Okay, as technology progresses, surveys now can be sent through online and accessible very easily. With this, we will be using Google Form as part of the survey data. We as the researcher can also use this information in real time. Okay, the Google Form uses the ordinal type of scale, which is the 5-point Likert scale, where the respondents specify their level of agreement to the items which are 1 indicates to strongly disagree, while 5 are indicating to strongly agree. Next slide, please. Okay, next is how the data will be analyzed. Okay, we might say that solving a problem is not as simple as it seems, but because it requires collecting and analyzing all raw data in order to produce a marketing plan. Basically, any information or data must be removed during the data preparation process when some of the data gathered is faulty and fills in the gaps. Since we are using the quantitative method, which consists of the collection of the primary data, finally, we have been using the statistical package for social sciences, for social science or SPSS. SPSS is a widely utilized social science analytical statistical program. Market scientists, help researchers, survey organizations, and governments. The data miners and other also uses it. And the original SPSS handbook was described as one of one of the most powerful data collection tools. Okay, that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter, Rabiatul Adawiyah. Thank you.
Thank you to Zairil. Okay, first we move to the data analysis and analysis. Okay, first data analysis are to observe the detail of demographic information. Respondents selected among the pupil in Klang Valley and to analyze the demographic distribution of the respondents, comparisons of gender, age, race, and occupations. Second analysis are to identify the factor of deceptive online advertising, that is, customer purchasing. The data collected show the distribution of unethical online advertising, stereotyping online advertising, and the misleading of online advertising. Third data analysis are to determine the customer purchasing online and to identify the deceptive online purchasing. Then the last one is the data preparation and analysis are to find out the relationship between the factor of deceptive advertising and influence purchasing intention on the and the hypothesis result. All the data prepared by using the SPSS applications and analysis one by one by the researcher. Next slide. For the next slide, we move to the discussions and finding. Firstly, uh, we study the relationship between misleading online advertising and customer purchasing intention. Misleading online advertising will not be influence the customer purchasing intentions. Respondents in Klang Valley maybe think twice before buy something because usually customer not impact from misleading information on the advertising because due to the brand itself. Then the second one is to investigate the relationship between unethical online advertising and customer purchasing intentions. Respondents use social media on daily basis. Unethical online advertising will be influence the customer purchasing because unethical online advertising create expectations of brand which can affect the consumer perspective and also might cause the brand's bad image. Consumer more alert with the unethical ads because of their misrepresentations of the product. The last one, researcher examine the relationship between stereotyping online advertising and customer purchasing intention. Stereotyping online advertising will not be influence the customer purchase intentions because people most likely don't care about stereotyping online advertising because they have their own perceptions of the product. The change of pupil in buying certain product change by the time flow. As we can see, men can use a woman product while the woman use the man product. So for the next slide, I will pass to the next presenter, Zaril.
Okay, thank you, Rabiatul. Now we're moving on to the recommendations. So there are three recommendations that we would like to recommend for the future researcher. Okay, the first one is the researcher may expand the size of respondents by not only collect the data within Klang Valley. Besides, future researchers also may consider by expanding the respondent size by surveying people at age which starting from 18 to 50 years old. For the second recommendation, to get better result of the finding, the researcher should make sure all the elements needed in this study can gather easily and do not take a long time to have it. Finally, researchers may explore utilizing a different data collection technique for everyone, such as a face-to-face interview, so that they may be properly explained and save time while completing out the questionnaire. Thank you so much. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, lastly for the conclusion for our research is first is deceptive online advertising is frequently happen in Malaysia and it can have a serious effect on consumer trust in a company. Second, based on our research, we can conclude that some of the factors in Deceptive online advertising may be impact and may not be impact toward customers' purchasing intention. Lastly, is everyone has their perception and point of view, but it does not mean that deception online advertising can be used as a tool to gain profit. This is because advertising that promotes a service or product deceptively is unethical. After all, it does not provide people with all the information they need to make a good decision. Consequently, people might waste money on product and services they neither need no one. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.